everyone, I am Mariel Ann Okiawan, the first reporter for the Chapter 2 Lesson 1. So the main content of this subject is curriculum. And when we talk about curriculum, developing it is like making our own lesson plan, but with a broader content. We future educators knows what that feels like, right? Crafting something with different components and creatively put them together. Yes, that's how to simply describe on making a curriculum. So, have you ever wondered about the various design models that the teachers use to their students for making an effective way of teaching? I am sure you are, and those are included in the curriculum. And they are what we call curriculum designs. And that will be the content that we will be tackling today. Without any further ado, let me start the discussion. Our topic is all about curriculum design and development models. Come and join me to discover the wonders of curriculum and how they are organized in different ways. Before we'll move further, let us define first what is curriculum design. As it says, it refers to the arrangement of the four elements of the curriculum, which are the aims, goals, objectives, subject matter or content, learning activities, and evaluation. In short, this identifies the four elements of the curriculum and expresses its relationship with each other. This describes the systematic organization of the curriculum, how the curriculum runs. This serves as a guide for an instructor to follow on making a plan on how to teach, what they need to do, who will do it, and what time that will follow. Here is the content of our report. The different design models, which are the subject-centered design model, learner-centered design model, problem-centered design model, and the things to consider in designing curriculum. So the first thing that I'm going to discuss is the subject-centered design model. From the name itself, this design focuses on the subject rather than the learners. Pinagtutuunan nila ng pansin ang mga subject na kailangan ituro sa mga bata at bakit ito kailangan ituro. This is a traditional approach as you noticed when we were young. The subjects are divided as what we practice. They are taught in their time allocation. The subject-centered design corresponds mostly to the textbook because textbooks are usually written based on the specific subject or course. So of course, they will rely the way they teach on the textbooks, considering that this is the instructor's source of knowledge about the subject. So makikita mo talaga na it is a very traditional way, like sa napagdadaanan natin during elementary and high school days. We are more on books, reading, and listening, so passive tayo. So much for that, this design was firmly believed by the two curricularists, namely Henry Morrison and William Harris. So Henry Morrison was an approach developer. His approach to learning is that materials is organized into units that students must master in order to progress to the next level. So Morrison's approach is a pattern for instructional process. First is the pre-test, teaching, evaluation, and change of the instruction. Then repeat the cycle until it will result to a development. We won't dig deeper to William Harris and we will now proceed to the next slide. In the subject-centered curriculum design, there are also some various kinds which centralize on the individual subject, a specific discipline, and a combination of subjects or disciplines which are broad field or interdisciplinary. So we will talk about first on the subject design. From the word itself, this is simply about the design an educator taught to the learners. This design is considered as the easy to deliver kasi nga the source of information that the teacher will convey is from the textbook. And sa pabalik-balik na pagtuturo neto, ay mamamaster na talaga ng guro at mapapamilyar ang bawat instructional materials. Sa napapansin nyo, our learning is spiral from basic to more complex one and each subject is designated according to the program na naka-align sa kanya. Pero ang naka-disadvantage lang sa design na ito is that hindi na nabibigyan ng pansin ang mag-aaral. Ito kasi yung tipo ng approach na turo lang ng turo without considering students' effective way of attaining. A passive way kumbaga of teaching, wherein students just sit, listen, and rely on the teacher's knowledge imparted to them. Like what I have said earlier, this is also a traditional way of teaching and learning. So okay, that's it for the subject design, and we will proceed to the next one, which is the discipline design. This focus on the academic disciplines. Actually, they're related with the subject design. And subject design nga lang, ay napofocus siya sa group of subjects, while sa discipline, it is how it is utilized and applied. So when we say disciplines in curriculum, this means that you will learn that specific knowledge through learning the way that knowledge learned by others. Example, if you want to be a teacher, then learn how the teachers learn. We, BS Ed major in English, we were trained or we will pass the ground where a licensed teacher used to be. Like this subject, about curriculum. Nagian sab ni nila, kumbaga, agian nimo ang gagian sa gauna sa imuha. If gusto nimo ma-engineer, then agii and learn kung paon sa ang step of learning nga giagian sa usa ka licensed engineer. Ingon ana, and this type of practice must be taught by the teachers to the learners, the discipline on how they will impart that certain knowledge. Okay, so that's it for discipline design, and we will now proceed to the third one, which is the correlation design. So from the word itself, we can sense the relationship, because that is what correlation design is, wherein subjects are connected to each other to lessen the splitting. Example, in K-12, in the STEM strand, they have the core subject of math and science. Kaya if we hear the strand name STEM, we will know what subject they focus on. They will link the subject nga ma-form ang kana nga specific nga course. Last example, ang core subject is literature. Under niya is art, music, history, and geography. Also, to utilize correlated design, there must be a collaboration of teachers to plan well the lessons. Okay, now, let us proceed to the fourth one, which is the broad field design or interdisciplinary. So, it is the variation of the subject-centered design. Sa isa ka broad subject, gi-categorize siya, which is related gihapon to one another. For instance, in language arts, this includes grammar, literature, linguistics, spelling, and composition. This is sometimes called as holistic curriculum, broad fields around themes and integration. Also, interdisciplinary design is kapareha sa thematic design, kay isa ka team nag-revolve ang mga subjects na connected ana nga team. Okay, so that's it for the subject-centered design model, and we will now proceed to the second design model, which is the learner-centered design model. Mailhan na natudaan sa iyang pangalan pa lang nga, this model focuses on the learners. Kani nga model kay makita jud nimo throughout the study level of the individual from elementary, secondary, up to tertiary. Kamaskin pa sa elementary, makaingon tag subject-centered siya up to secondary, and in tertiary kay more on discipline, yet dili jud mawala nga in utilizing an approach tan-awon pud nimo imong learners ug ma-identify gihapon unsa ka importante ang estudyante sa curriculum. So much for that. Here are some examples of curriculum designs which are considered learner-centered. The first one is the child-centered design. So, this is often attributed to the influence of John Dewey. First, who believes that curriculum should ultimately produce students who would be able to deal effectively with the modern world. Second, Jean-Jacques Rousseau. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, I am not sure about that, so please correct me if I'm wrong. He believed that allowing the child to develop through exposing in society without limitation can urge potential or can urge their potential. Third, Johann Heinrich Pestalozzi, who advocated the education of the poor, and emphasize teaching methods designed to strengthen the students' own abilities like engagement and activities. And lastly, the fourth, Froebel, who believe that hands-on playing can let out the meaning of that specific content or matter. From its root, this design centered the needs of the child. Kumbaga, an active way of learning where interaction takes place to teachers and to environment. Dili na mosulod ang mga activities which they can learn through it. That's the child-centered design. So now, next is the experience-centered learning. They are related with the child-centered design. It's centralized on the child. Ang pagkakaiba lang nila is, students are given an opportunity to choose activities where they are capable to learn and able to cultivate their own knowledge. Teachers will just serve as a guide and make the student independently learn on their own experience. Various activities are options for the students. Activities formed in this design are emphasis of touch, feeling, imagining, constructing, relating, and the like. That is what experience design is. So we will now proceed to the last example of learner-centered curriculum design, which is the humanistic design. This design put emphasis on the human values and being humanitarian. The key lead personalities of this curriculum are Abraham Maslow and Carl Rogers. In Maslow's theory that enabled to achieve a full understanding, potential, and talent, we must possess empathy towards others who are less fortunate. Overall, be humanitarian and able to achieve the self-actualization. And this must be started to practice at school. On the other hand, Carl Rogers believed that an individual improves its self-directed learning through self-improvement. Overall, this design focuses on acceptance of yourself, of others, and everything that surrounds you. And that's the time that you fulfill the potential you have. You'll understand everything and you gain the knowledge. That's all for my part, and the rest will be discussed furtherly by my peer. Again, the two curriculum design I've discussed was the student-centered design model, with its example, the subject design, discipline design, and broad field design. And the second curriculum design, which is the learner-centered design, with its example designs, the child-centered design, experience-centered design, and humanistic design. Thank you for listening, and let us proceed to the next discussion by my co-reporter.